Blood drips from my temple. The champagne bottle's crack still echoing in my skull, a gift from my father at my brother's party. Eldric Vaughn, 60, retired fisherman. That's me standing shattered in a Gloucester bathroom. The fishing knife I carved for Torin clutched in my hand feels heavier than betrayal. Snow taps the window, a cold whisper of the fight over my 450k condo. Why did my own family turn on me demanding everything I built? The knife's edge holds secrets I can't yet see. Have you ever faced a family rift that cut deeper than you thought? Share your story below. The snow falls in thick, silent sheets outside the Victorian home in Gloucester, Massachusetts, blanketing the harbor in a ghostly glow. It's November 1st, 2024, 9 p.m., and the Day of the Dead party hums beyond the bathroom door where I stand, blood trickling from my temple. My name's Eldric Vaughn, 60 years old, a retired fisherman with hands rough as lobster traps. And right now I'm clutching a fishing knife I carved for my brother Torin when he was just a kid dreaming of college. The blade's handle, worn smooth by years of gutting cod, digs into my palm, grounding me against the dizziness creeping in. The mirror above the sink shows a face I barely recognize. Gray stubble eyes hollow as the ocean at midnight, a streak of red smearing my cheek. How did I get here? I wipe the blood with a trembling hand, the cold porcelain of the sink biting my skin. Outside, mariachi music lilts a lively strum that clashes with the ache in my skull. The air carries the scent of marigolds from the ofrendas set up in the living room, their golden petals glowing under candlelight honoring the dead. Locals from Gloucester shuffle past the front porch, adding trinkets to community altars' photos. Sugar skulls, a child's toy boat. I saw them through the window earlier, their faces soft with memory, while I stood inside a stranger in my own family's house. My chest tightens at the thought. I'm a ghost here, drifting through a crowd that doesn't see me. My eyes drop to the photo in my other hand, creased and faded, pulled from my wallet like a reflex. It's me, Torin, and Sigrid, my wife, 10 years ago on this same harbor. Torin's grinning his arm slung around my shoulder, Sigrid's hair catching the sunlight. We were tight then, or so I thought, before the years of double shifts on the boat, the loans I wired to Torin, the quiet dinners with Sigrid that turned quieter. How did we become strangers? I whisper, my voice barely audible over the music. The words hang in the air, unanswered, as the knife trembles in my grip. I carved this for Torin when he left for college, my hands steady, then proud of the boy I helped raise. Now it feels like a relic of a life I lost. The bathroom's tiled walls close in the fluorescent light, buzzing like a trapped fly. My head throbs where the champagne bottle hit my father's hand, his face twisted with rage I still don't understand. The party's laughter seeps through the door, sharp as a gut hook. They're out there, Torin. Sigrid, my father, clinking glasses, toasting Torin's latest venture, while I'm in here bleeding forgotten. I trace the knife's edge with my thumb, not hard enough to cut, just enough to feel something real. This knife was my gift to Torin, a piece of me he carried through dorm rooms and boardrooms. Did he ever think of me when he held it? Or was I just the fool who paid his way? Snow taps the window, a soft rhythm against the harbor's distant waves, and I think of the condo I bought with every dime I scraped together. It's mine, my anchor, the one thing they can't take. Or can they? Torin's voice echoes in my head, smooth and insistent at the party, demanding I sign it over. It's for the family, he said, but his eyes were cold, like the sea in January. My father's swing came after, fast and brutal, the bottle cracking against my skull before I could answer. Why? What did I do to deserve this? I lean against the sink, the photo crumpling in my fist. The ofrendas outside are for the dead, but I'm the one erased. No picture of me sits among the candles, no memory of the man who worked 30 years on the boats, who gave Torin everything, who loved Sigrid through every silent night. My breath catches a raw ache spreading in my chest. I'm a ghost, not just tonight, but always working, sacrificing, fading while they moved on without me. The knife feels heavier now, its weight pulling me back to the kid I was carving it by the harbor, dreaming of a family that'd stay close. What a damn fool. The mariachi picks up a trumpet's wail, slicing through my thoughts, and I hear footsteps outside, someone laughing, a glass clinking. The Greenwave app on my phone, still open from checking condo taxes this morning, pings softly in my pocket, a reminder of the bills piling up. I ignore it, my eyes locked on the photo. Sigrid's smile in it is warm the way it used to be before the distance grew. Torin's younger, hopeful, not the man who stood out there tonight demanding my home. I want to go back to that day to fix whatever I broke, but the blood on my face says it's too late. My thumb brushes the knife's handle again, and I think of the harbor, the waves that carried me through storms. I survived those. I can survive this. But the thought feels hollow, like a boat with no anchor. I'm alone in this crowd, a man they've forgotten, and the weight of that truth presses harder than the pain in my skull. I look at the mirror again, at the stranger staring back, and wonder if he's got the strength to walk out there to face them. Or maybe I'll just slip away, let the snow bury me like it's burying the harbor tonight. I take a deep breath, the air sharp with marigold and blood, and slide the knife into my pocket. The photo goes back in my wallet next to a crumpled lobster bake flyer from years ago when Torin and I laughed over burnt claws. I wipe my face with a damp towel, the blood smearing but not gone, and open the bathroom door. The party's noise hits me like a wave, laughter glasses, Torin's voice rising above it all. I step out my boots, heavy on the hardwood, and no one turns to look. Not Sigrid, not my father, not the locals by the ofrendas. I'm invisible, a shadow slipping through their light. The snow outside keeps falling soft and relentless, and I feel it in my bones, a cold that's been there longer than tonight. I move toward the living room, the knife a quiet weight against my thigh, and wonder what happened out there, what made my own blood turn on me. Why did my father swing that bottle? Why does Torin want my condo, my life's work? The questions burn unanswered as I stand at the edge of the crowd, a stranger in my own story waiting for the answer that might break me. The ocean churns gray and wild outside my condo in Gloucester, Massachusetts, waves slamming the harbor like they're angry at the world. It's October 30th, 2024, 7 a.m., and I'm Eldric Vaughn, 60, sitting at my kitchen counter, the scent of burnt coffee thick in the air. Snow hasn't started yet, but the sky's heavy, promising a storm. Lobster traps stack along the shore below their buoys, bobbing like forgotten promises. My condo's a fortress of weathered wood and salt-streaked windows built with every dime I hauled from 30 years on fishing boats. I poured my life's sweat into these walls, hammering nails after long shifts, dreaming of a place to call mine. Now, it's all I've got left, and the Greenwave app on my phone pings a sharp chime that cuts through the quiet taxes due $4, $200, blinking like a threat. My gut twists. This place is my anchor, and it's slipping. I sip my coffee bitter and cold, and my eyes drift to the wall where Torin's college degree hangs framed in cheap wood. Torin, my younger brother, the kid I raised when our folks were too busy fighting. I wired him $75,000 for that degree, working double shifts, my hands raw from nets, my back screaming. I was proud then, thinking he'd make something of himself, maybe even thank me. but he never did. The frame's crooked like it's mocking me, and I mutter, "Damn, kid," though my chest aches with something softer. I'm proud, sure, but forgotten like the lobster bake years ago when we laughed over scorched claws, Torin's face bright with plans. Where's that kid now? Running some fancy venture too busy to call, too good for the brother who bankrolled his dreams. The app pings again, and I grab my phone, its screen too bright, too small. The Greenwave interface is a maze of buttons, property details, tax portal, payment plans, and my fingers thick from years of gutting cod fumble like they're betraying me. Damn thing, I curse, squinting at the tiny text. 2025's tech moves too fast for me, like the world's leaving me behind. I tap the wrong icon, and a pop-up blares, "Secure your property today." I slam the phone down, heart pounding. This condo's my life, my proof. I did something right, and these taxes feel like a net tightening around it. I built this place board by board, Sigrid helping me paint the walls, her laughter filling the empty rooms. Now she's quiet, and I'm here alone wrestling a machine that doesn't care. I lean back, the stool creaking under me, and my mind drifts to that lobster bake. Torin was 20, home from college, his hair too long, his grin too big. We sat on the harbor, the air thick with salt and smoke cracking claws, and talking about his future. "You'll see, Eldric," he said. "I'll make you proud." I believed him, handed over another check thinking it'd keep us close, but the calls stopped. The visits faded, and now this degree on my wall feels like a lie. Did he ever think of me, of the nights I didn't sleep to pay his way? Or am I just the fool who gave too much left with nothing but bills and a cold kitchen? The condo's silence presses in, broken only by the ocean's growl and the app's faint hum. My fridge rattles half empty, a reminder of meals I don't cook anymore. Sigrid's at the family house today, probably setting up for tomorrow's Day of the Dead party. She's been talking about ofrendas, about honoring the past. But what's my past worth if no one remembers it? I'm alone here, the kind of alone that sinks into your bones like the cold seeping through these windows. I glance at the degree again, and a raw thought cuts through. They don't need me. Not Torin, not Sigrid, not even this damn town. It's a lie, I tell myself, but it sticks heavy as the knife in my pocket from last night. My phone buzzes. Not the app this time, a call. Torin's name lights up the screen, and my heart jumps a stupid flicker of hope. I answer, my voice rough. "Yeah, Torin, what's up?" He's calm, too smooth, like he's selling something. "Eldric, we need to talk. Family business tomorrow at the party. It's big, real important. No hello, no how you holding up, just business cold as the harbor ice." I grip the counter, my knuckles whitening. What kind of business, I ask? But he's vague, dodging like a fish on a line. "You'll see. Just be there." The call ends, and I'm left staring at the phone, the Greenwave app, still open, taxes, still due. I stand pacing the kitchen, my boots scuffing the linoleum. Torin's planning something, and it's got my blood up like a squall on the horizon. What does he want? My condo. My blessing. Another handout. The degree glints in the morning light, a reminder of every dollar I gave, every night. I worked every piece of me I lost to keep him afloat. And now he calls acting like I owe him more. The app pings again, and I want to hurl the phone into the sea. This condo, this life, it's mine, not his, not anyone's. But the silence in this room, the weight of that call, tells me I'm fighting a tide I can't see. I stop by the window, the ocean stretching endless and dark. The lobster traps bob stubborn against the waves, and I think of the knife in my pocket, the one I carved for Torin. Maybe he's forgotten it, like he's forgotten me, but I haven't. I'm still here, still holding on, even if no one else is. Torin's coming tomorrow with his family business, and I'll be there not because he asked, but because I need to know what he's after. What's his plan? And why does it feel like it's going to cost me everything? The Gloucester diner smells of fried clams and coffee, a warm hum against the cold noon light of October 31st, 2024. Waves crash beyond the harbor, their roar slipping through the diner's salt-streaked windows where snow dusts the lobster rolls on red checkered plates. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit across from Vesper Klein, my fishing buddy of 30 years, his face as weathered as the lobster traps stacked outside. The jukebox hums a faint Winter Harbor jig, and I'm nursing a black coffee, my hands wrapped around the mug to steady them. Yesterday's call from Torin still gnaws at me, his cold talk of family business like a hook in my gut. I'm here to shake it off, but Vesper's got that look, the one he gets when the sea's about to turn ugly. Vesper's stirring his soup, slow, his eyes distant. My boy Caleb, he says, voice low, hasn't called in 3 years. Left for Boston, said I was too stuck in the past. He chuckles, but it's hollow, and I feel a pang. Caleb's his only son, a kid. I watched grow up, now a stranger. Vesper's story cuts close. My own brother Torin barely calls, and when he does, it's like I'm a means to an end. I nod, sipping my coffee, the bitterness matching my mood. Kids move on, I mutter, but my chest tightens. I'm scared Torin's moving on without me, that I'm losing him like Vesper lost Caleb. The waves outside pound louder, a rhythm that pulls up memories of fishing with Torin, his laugh bright as the sun on the water. Where's that kid now? Vesper leans forward, his spoon clinking against the bowl. Heard Torin's got plans, Eldric. Big ones. Something about your condo. My grip on the mug falters, coffee sloshing. What plans, I ask, voice sharper than I mean. Vesper shrugs, but his eyes are sharp. Talk around town. He's been meeting with realtors, flashing that smile of his. You check your deed lately? The words hit like a squall. My condo, my life's work, the place I built with calloused hands, and every dime I saved. Torin's after it. I shake my head, trying to trust my brother, but doubt creeps in cold as the snow outside. The Greenwave app on my phone, still open from yesterday's tax fight, feels like a warning I ignored. The diner's chatter fades, the waves crash, filling the silence. I want to believe Torin's call was innocent, just family catching up. But Vesper's words snag like a net on a reef. He's my mirror, Vesper, tough, loyal, but scarred by family drifting away. His loss makes me fear mine, like I'm staring at my future in his tired eyes. I rub my thumb over the knife in my pocket, the one I carved for Torin, its handle a reminder of the brother I thought I knew. I'll talk to him, I say, but it sounds weak, like I'm convincing myself. Vesper nods, his gaze steady. Check that deed, Eldric. Trust your gut, not your heart. I leave the diner, snow dusting my jacket, and head home, the harbor's roar chasing me. My condo's quiet when I get there, the ocean dark through the windows, lobster traps barely visible. I dig through the kitchen drawer, past old bills and a lobster bake flyer, until I find the deed, its paper crisp despite the years. My name's there. Eldric Vaughn owner, but below it in black ink is Sigrid's signature, dated last month. My heart stops. Sigrid. My wife signed this, without telling me. The room spins, the waves outside, a dull roar in my ears, pulling up the day we painted these walls together, her laugh bright as the harbor sun. Why would she do this? I sink onto the stool, the deed trembling in my hands. Sigrid's been distant, sure, but this I trust her, or I want to. But the signature's real, a betrayal I can't unsee. Is she in on Torin's family business? My phone sits on the counter, the Greenwave app still mocking me with its tax notice, and I think of Vesper's words, "Trust your gut." My gut's screaming, but my heart's holding on, scared to lose the family I've got left. The knife in my pocket feels heavier, a tether to Torin, to the past. But now it's tangled in doubt. I'm alone in this condo, the silence louder than the ocean, and I'm wondering if the people I love are slipping away, or if they're pulling the net out from under me. I stare at Sigrid's signature, my thumb tracing the ink, and the fear hits hard. What if I'm losing them all? Torin's call, Vesper's warning, this deed. They're pieces of a puzzle I don't want to solve. Tomorrow's the day of the dead party, and Torin will be there with his plans, his smile. I'll be there too, but now I'm questioning Sigrid, the woman I built this life with. Why did she sign this deed? What's she hiding? And what does Torin know? The Victorian home in Gloucester, Massachusetts glows warm against the November 1st, 2024 night, its windows steaming under a sky heavy with snow. It's 8 p.m., and the day of the dead party pulses inside mariachi music, humming through the air, a lively strum of guitars and trumpets. Marigolds blaze on ofrendas scattered across the living room, their candles casting flickers over sugar skulls and faded photos of the family's dead. Outside locals drift by, adding trinkets to community altars on the porch. A locket, a toy boat, a whispered prayer. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, stand near the family's ofrenda, my boots scuffing the hardwood, my worn suit itching at the collar. My eyes scan the altar, searching for a photo of me. Some sign I belong. There's nothing, just Torin, Sigrid, my father, their faces smiling from frames, while I'm erased, a ghost in my own home. The room's alive with laughter glasses clinking, the scent of tamales and whiskey thick in the air. Torin, my brother, moves through the crowd, his suit sharp, his smile sharper, shaking hands like he's running for mayor. Sigrid's by the bar, her dress catching the light, chatting with cousins I barely know. My father's at the head table, his voice booming over the mariachi toasting Torin's latest venture. I clutch a glass of water, the cold biting my palm, and try to blend in, but my heart's racing. Sigrid's signature on my condo deed, found yesterday, burns in my mind, and Torin's family business call feels like a storm rolling in. The snow outside falls harder, a soft hiss against the windows burying the harbor in white, and I feel it in my bones, a loneliness that's been growing for years. I edge closer to the ofrenda, my fingers brushing a marigold, its petals soft as memory. No photo of me, not even from the old days when I'd hauled Torin onto my boat, teaching him knots, promising we'd always stick together. The knife in my pocket, the one I carved for him, presses against my thigh, a quiet reminder of that promise. But now standing here, I'm nothing to them, a shadow they've outgrown. The mariachi shifts to a slower tune, and I catch Sigrid's eye across the room. She smiles, but it's tight rehearsed, and my stomach twists. Does she know I saw the deed? Is she part of whatever? Torin's planning? Torin's voice cuts through the chatter, loud, commanding. He's at the center of the room now, holding a microphone, the crowd quieting. "Folks, tonight's special," he says, his grin wide. "We're celebrating family legacy and big plans." His eyes lock on me, and my grip tightens on the glass. "Eldric, come up here, brother." The room turns, faces blurring, and I freeze, my boots rooted to the floor. The snow outside seems to pause, the mariachi fading to a hum. I step forward slow, the crowd parting their whispers like waves against the shore. What's he doing? I reach Torin. The microphone's feedback squealing faintly. He claps my shoulder too hard and leans in, his breath sharp with whiskey. Eldric's the backbone of this family, he says, voice smooth as the Greenwave app's sales pitch I saw on his phone yesterday. And tonight he's going to help us build something new. The crowd claps polite, but I feel the hook. Tell him Eldric Torin says, shoving the mic at me. Tell him you're signing over the condo for our family venture. The words hit like a gut punch. My condo, my life's work, my anchor. He wants it just like Vesper warned. The room stills eyes on me, Sigrid's face unreadable in the crowd. My mouth's dry, the mic heavy in my hand. This ain't agreed on, I say, my voice low, rough, but it carries. Torin's smile doesn't falter, but his eyes go cold like the harbor ice. Come on, brother, he says, loud enough for all to hear. It's for us. You don't need that place rattling around by yourself. The crowd murmurs, some nodding, others shifting, uncomfortable. My father stands his chair, scraping his face red. Don't be selfish, Eldric, he barks, snatching a champagne bottle from the table. You owe us. Owe them. For what? The loans I gave Torin. The years I worked while they dreamed, I open my mouth. But before I can speak, my father's arm swings fast, brutal. The bottle cracks against my temple, a white-hot explosion of pain. I stagger the mic, clattering to the floor, blood warm on my cheek. Gasps ripple through the crowd. A phone camera flashes, but no one moves. Torin looks away, his jaw tight. Sigrid's hand twitches, but she stays put. The mariachi stops the silence, deafening, broken only by the snow's soft tap on the windows and my ragged breath. I'm betrayed, irrelevant, a fool, who thought family meant loyalty. The knife in my pocket feels like a lie, its weight mocking the brother I thought I had. My father's words echo, you owe us, and I see it now. I'm nothing to them, a means to an end, my condo, just another deal. The blood drips to the floor, red on polished wood, and I want to scream, to list every sacrifice, every night I worked for them. But my throat's locked, the pain too raw, the humiliation burning hotter than the cut. I straighten my vision swimming, and meet my father's glare, then Torin's averted eyes, then Sigrid's blank stare. The crowd's a blur, their faces fading into the snow outside. I don't speak, don't fight, don't beg. I just walk silent, my boots heavy blood trailing behind me. The ofrendas flicker as I pass their candles mocking my absence. The front door looms, cold air rushing in as I step out, the snow swallowing my footsteps. The party resumes behind me, laughter rising like I was never there. I'm alone, publicly broken, and the question burns, will I let them take everything or will I fight back? Snow falls in soft, relentless curtains outside my Gloucester condo, blanketing the harbor in a hush. It's November 1st, 2024, 11 p.m., and the ocean's low roar seeps through the salt-streaked windows, a restless pulse. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit at my kitchen counter, the air heavy with the tang of old coffee and sea salt. A lobster bake poster curls on the counter, its faded colors mocking happier days. Torin and I cracking claws, Sigrid laughing under summer sun. The Greenwave app on my phone blinks a tax notice, glaring $4,200 due a noose tightening around my condo, my life's work. My temple throbs where my father's bottle struck hours ago. The blood crusted now, a dull ache under my fingers. I stare at the notice heart, heavy, the numbers blurring as my mind replays Torin's demand at the Day of the Dead party. My father's rage, the crowd's stares. I'm alone, clinging to this place, fighting a solitude that's swallowing me whole. The condo's quiet, save for the waves and the fridge's faint hum. Its half-empty shelves a mirror of my life. The knife in my pocket, carved for Torin, feels like a betrayal, its weight pulling me back to the party where I was nothing, a ghost sidelined bleeding. Sigrid's signature on my deed found yesterday burns in my chest. Why'd she sign it? Is she with Torin, scheming to take my home? I want to trust her, my wife, the woman who painted these walls with me, whose laugh once filled this room. But the cracks are there wide and deep, and I'm scared I'm losing her, losing everything. The tax notice stares back, a reminder I can't afford to lose this fight. This condo's my anchor, and without it, I'm adrift. A knock at the door jolts me soft but insistent. I stand wincing and open it to find Sigrid, her coat dusted with snow, eyes red-rimmed. "Eldric," she says, voice trembling. "Can I come in?" I nod, stepping aside, the cold air rushing in with her. She moves to the counter, her hands twisting together, avoiding the tax notice like it's a wound. The waves outside crash louder, pulling up a memory us on the harbor, young her hand in mine, promising forever. That promise feels fragile now, brittle as the snow piling up. "I'm sorry," she starts, her voice low, "about tonight, your father, Torin." It got out of hand. Her words are soft, but there's a rehearsed edge, and my gut twists. Is she here to fix this or finish it? I lean against the counter, arms crossed, blood still flaking from my temple. "Out of hand," I say, my voice rougher than I mean. "Torin wants my condo and Dad damn near cracked my skull. You call that an accident?" Sigrid flinches, her eyes darting to the floor. "It's not like that," she says, stepping closer, her perfume faint familiar. "Torin's got big plans for all of us. If you sign the condo over just temporary, it'll help. I've got debts, Eldric, from the shop, and this could clear them." Debts. My head spins. She never mentioned debts, not in 20 years. I want to believe her, to see the woman I love, but her signature on that deed flashes in my mind, a silent accusation. Debts. I ask, my voice low, searching her face. She nods, eyes wet, but there's a flicker, guilt maybe, or something darker. "Just sign it," she presses her hand, brushing mine, warm but fleeting. "It's for us, for family." The word family stings like a hook in my heart. Family didn't stop Torin's demand, or my father's bottle, or her secret signature. The waves crash again, a trigger pulling me back to our early days when trust was easy, when Sigrid's laugh was my home. Now I'm doubting her, and it's tearing me apart. I need to think, I say, pulling my hand away, my chest tight with the weight of wanting to hold on and let go at once. Sigrid sighs, reaching for her purse on the counter. "Think fast," she says, softer now, almost pleading. She turns to leave, her boots clicking on the linoleum, and I notice her purse left open, a card peeking out. I grab it as the door shuts, my fingers brushing the glossy surface, a realtor's card, Harbor Properties, with a handwritten note. "Call Vaughn Condo." My breath catches the room tilting. Sigrid's working with a realtor. For my condo, the tax notice on the counter seems to pulse the app's ping, a faint echo in my pocket. I want to trust her, to believe her debts are real, her plea honest. But this card screams deceit, a betrayal sharper than my father's bottle. I sink onto the stool, the card trembling in my hand. The lobster bake poster, a cruel reminder of a family that's slipping away. I'm alone here. The snow outside burying the harbor, the waves a relentless reminder of what I'm fighting for. Sigrid's gone, but her words linger tangled with that signature, this card. Is she lying? Playing me for Torin's plan? The condo's all I have, my last piece of myself, and now I'm doubting the woman I built it with. The silence presses in colder than the snow, and I'm left wondering if I can trust anyone, or if I'm already too far gone to save what's mine. The Gloucester coffee shop is a warm blur at 6 a.m. on November 2nd, 2024. Its windows fogged against the snow piling on lobster traps outside. The harbor's dark waves grumbling under a gray dawn, their rhythm a faint pulse through the glass. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit across from Vesper Klein, my fishing buddy, the air thick with espresso and sea salt. The Greenwave app on my phone pings a tax notice blinking $4,200 due, a reminder of the condo I'm fighting for. My temples bruised, blood flaking from last night's attack at the Day of the Dead party, my father's bottle leaving a scar deeper than skin. Sigrid's realtor card found hours ago burns in my pocket, her signature on my deed a wound I can't shake. I'm alone, my trust in her fraying, and the snow outside feels like it's burying me too. Vesper's hands rough as mine from years on. The boats cradle a chipped mug. His eyes sharp under gray brows, study me like he's reading the tide. "You look like hell, Eldric," he says, voice low, cutting through the diner's hum, waitresses clinking plates. A radio playing Winter Harbor jig faintly. I grunt, sipping my coffee, its bitterness matching my mood. Feel like it. I mutter my thumb, brushing the knife in my pocket, the one I carved for Torin. Yesterday's party. Torin's demand for my condo. My father's swing. Sigrid's plea replays in my head, tangled with her realtor card. I want to trust her, my wife, but the cracks are wide now, and Vesper's got that look, the one that says a storm's coming. He leans forward, sliding a manila envelope across the table, its edges worn. Found something, he says, his tone flat, but heavy like dropping anchor. I frown, setting my mug down, the coffee sloshing. "What's this?" I ask, but my gut's already churning like the harbor before a squall. Vesper's my mirror, his own loss, his son Caleb gone to Boston, no calls echoing my fear of losing Torin Sigrid. My family. He taps the envelope. Open it. I do, my fingers stiff, pulling out papers my condo deed photocopied Sigrid's signature bold in black ink. But there's more loan documents, bank statements, her name tied to $20,000 in debts, and a forged transfer form, her signature, scrawled to sell my condo. My breath catches the room tilting. "Sigrid," I whisper, voice cracking. Vesper nods, his face grim. "She's been working with a realtor, Eldric. Harbor Properties. Those debts she's drowning, and she's using your condo to stay afloat." The words hit like a wave, trust shattering like glass. Sigrid. My Sigrid forging papers to take my home. The knife in my pocket feels like a lie, as heavy as the realtor's card I found last night. I want to scream to deny it, but the papers don't lie, her signature, her debts, her betrayal. The snow outside falls harder, a motif of my sinking hope, burying the lobster traps, the harbor me. I'm alone more than ever, my wife's deceit, a blade sharper than my father's bottle. Why didn't she tell me? I say, my voice raw, barely audible over the waves crashing outside. Vesper's silence is answer enough. She didn't trust me, just like I'm struggling to trust her now. The subtext in her plea last night. It's for us. For family twists in my mind, a lie wrapped in love. I think of our early days painting the condo, her laugh filling the empty rooms, and my chest aches. I thought we were in this together, I mutter, a raw monologue spilling out. All these years, I worked for her, for Torin, for them. And now this Vesper's eyes soften, but he doesn't sugarcoat it. Sometimes the ones closest cut deepest, he says, his own pain, his son's absence lacing the words. The coffee shop's chatter fades the app's ping, a faint echo in my pocket. I stare at the forged form, Sigrid's handwriting a stranger's now. Her debts, $20,000 from her failing shop, the one I begged her to close, explain the realtor card, the secret meetings. But why not tell me? Why go behind my back with Torin, with realtors? The harbor waves crash again. A trigger pulling me back to our first night in the condo. Sigrid's arms around me, promising we'd face anything together. That promise is gone, and I'm left with papers that say I'm losing my home, my wife, my everything. I shove the papers back into the envelope, my hands shaking. She's not taking it, I say, my voice hard, a vow rising like a tide. This condo's mine, my sweat, my life. I'll fight for it. Vesper nods, a flicker of pride in his eyes, like he's seeing the old Eldric, the one who faced storms head-on. But inside, I'm breaking the solitude deeper. Now Sigrid's betrayal a weight I can't shake. I'm alone, my family unraveling, and the snow outside keeps falling, a relentless shroud over the harbor, the traps my hope. I stand the chair scraping and pocket the envelope, the knife a cold comfort against my thigh. Torin's out there with his plans, and Sigrid's part of it, her debts tying her to his scheme. I'll face them, but how? The Greenwave app pings again, a reminder of the taxes I can't pay if I lose this fight. Vesper watches me, his silence a challenge, and I feel the weight of every man who's found his partner's hidden debts, the shock of a trust broken. How do I fight my own wife, my own blood, to save the one thing that's still mine? The snowstorm howls outside my Gloucester condo, a relentless roar that shakes the windows at 1 a.m. on November 2nd, 2024. The harbor's lost in a white shroud, waves crashing like they're tearing the world apart. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit at my kitchen counter, the air thick with the chill seeping through the walls, and the faint scent of marigolds from a single ofrenda candle flickering nearby. Its flame dances, casting shadows over a tax notice clutched in my hand, $4,200, due, a blade hanging over my condo, my last anchor. The fishing knife I carved for Torin lies on the counter, its blade glinting a symbolic weight of the brother I've lost. My temples bruised, blood crusted from my father's bottle at the Day of the Dead party, but the real pain's deeper. Sigrid's forged documents, her debts, her betrayal revealed by Vesper hours ago. I'm alone, the storm outside mirroring the despair swallowing me whole. The condo's dark, save for the candle's glow, its light barely reaching the lobster bake poster curling on the counter, a ghost of summers with Torin and Sigrid. The Greenwave app on my phone, silent, now taunts me with its tax warning, a reminder of the fight I'm losing. My hands tremble, the notice crinkling as I grip it, the numbers blurring. I'm nothing, not a brother, not a husband, not a man. The knife, my gift to Torin, mocks me, a relic of sacrifices he's forgotten, like the $75,000 I wired for his degree, the nights I worked while he dreamed. Sigrid's betrayal cuts sharper, her secret debts, and forged deed stripping away the trust we built, painting these walls. The waves crash louder, a sound as trigger, pulling me back to my fishing days, when I was strong, needed not this broken shell sitting in the dark. I drop the knife, its clatter on the counter, a gunshot in the silence. My fingers clutch the tax notice tighter, the paper tearing at the edges. I'm nothing. I whisper the words, slipping out raw and ragged, my voice breaking in the empty room. The subtext is a scream: I'm worthless, a failure, irrelevant in a world that's moved on. Retirement's left me hollow. My fishing days gone, my family turning on me. Torin's demand for my condo, my father's bottle. Sigrid's lies, they've carved me out piece by piece until there's nothing left but this condo, and even that's slipping. The ofrenda candle flickers its light, a cruel mirror of the party's altar, where no photo of me stood, my existence erased. The storm's roar fills the room, the snow piling against the windows like it's burying me alive. This condo, my life's work, is all I have. But the tax notice says I can't keep it, not with Sigrid's debts and Torin's plans closing in. I think of the harbor, the boats I captained, the storms I faced, and wonder where that man went. He's gone, replaced by this stranger, bloodied and broken, staring at a candle like it holds answers. The knife glints, a symbolic anchor to the past, but it's not enough. I'm not enough. The loneliness is a weight heavier than the storm, pressing me into this stool, this moment where I'm facing the truth. I've failed them all, and they've failed me back. My eyes burn, but I don't cry. I just sit silent, the scene heavy with my despair, the candle's flame wavering like my resolve. The waves crash again, a relentless reminder of the life I lost. And I think of Vesper, his own son gone, his warning about Sigrid's betrayal. He's the only one left, the only one who sees me. My hand, shaking, reaches for my phone. The Greenwave apps glow dim. I scroll to Vesper's number, my thumb hovering the tax notice crumpling in my other hand. I'm breaking the storm inside louder than the one outside, and I can't do this alone. I hit call, the ring sharp in the silence, my voice cracking as he picks up. Vesper, I say, barely a whisper. I need you. His voice comes through, steady, gruff. Eldric. You okay? I can't answer, not yet. The words stuck in my throat. The candle flickers, the snow falls, and I'm holding on barely to the hope that Vesper can pull me from this edge. The knife lies still, the tax notice a crumpled weight, and I'm left in this mirror scene echoing the bathroom at the party, bloodied and lost, but now reaching out desperate for a lifeline. The storm rages my despair, a mirror to its fury, and I'm wondering if Vesper can help, or if I'm too far gone to save my condo, my life, myself. Can he help me find the man I used to be? The snow dusts Vesper's fishing shack in Gloucester, Massachusetts at 7 a.m. on November 2nd, 2024, clinging to old nets draped over the porch like frozen cobwebs. The harbor's a gray smudge beyond waves grumbling under a heavy sky. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit inside the air sharp with salt and motor oil, my hands wrapped around a chipped mug of Vesper's bitter coffee. Photos of us fishing line the shack's walls, me and Vesper, young and grinning Torin as a kid with a too big net. My temples bruised, blood flaking from my father's bottle at the Day of the Dead party 2 nights ago. And Sigrid's betrayal, her forged condo documents, her debts cuts deeper, a wound. Vesper's call pulled me from at 1 a.m. I'm alone, regret isolating me, like the snow piling outside my condo's tax notice, a weight in my pocket. $4 and $200 I can't pay if I lose this fight. Vesper's at the table, his phone open to Torin's social media post, a glossy shot of him at the party, all smiles and champagne. Big things coming, the caption brags, and my gut twists. Big things like stealing my condo. I sip the coffee, wincing at its bite, and my eyes drift to a photo, Torin, maybe 10, holding a fish, my hand on his shoulder. I funded his dreams, $75,000 for his degree, working double shifts, my back breaking under the strain. A flashback cuts in. I'm on the boat, 2008, hauling nets, my phone buzzing with Torin's call. Graduation's tomorrow, he says, excited. But I'm stuck at sea, the catch too big to leave. I'll make the next one, I say. But I never did, missing his milestone, my absence, a gap that grew. The memory stings guilt heavy in my chest. I was gone too much, and now he's forgotten me, my sacrifices buried like the harbor under snow. Torin's not himself, Vesper says, scrolling past the post, his voice gruff but soft. Your father's got him on a leash. I frown, leaning forward, the mug warm in my hands. What's that mean? I ask, my voice rough from last night's despair. Vesper's eyes, sharp as a gull's, meet mine. Saw Torin at the dock yesterday arguing with your old man. Looked pressured, like he's carrying something heavy. Another flashback, Torin last week at the family house, his phone buzzing with texts, my father's voice barking in the background. Don't mess this up, he said, and Torin's jaw tightened, his eyes avoiding mine. I thought he was just busy, but now I see it, he's trapped, caught in our father's grip, maybe even his plans for my condo. The subtext is raw. I'm guilty for missing Torin's life, for letting work steal our bond. But he's not free either, chained to our father's schemes. I gave him everything, I mutter, a raw monologue, spilling out, my voice low. College loans my damn heart. And he's out there posting like I'm nothing. The trigger hits, sacrifices forgotten. My years of work erased by Torin's silence, his betrayal at the party. The shack's quiet, the waves outside, a steady pulse. And I think of the knife in my pocket, carved for Torin, a gift he's forgotten like me. Vesper watches his own loss, his son Caleb gone mirroring mine, a silent understanding between us. I set the mug down, the coffee cold now, and rub my thumb over the knife through my jacket. The Greenwave app in my pocket with its tax notice feels like a ticking clock, and Sigrid's forged documents loom her debts, tying her to Torin's plan. I want to hate Torin, but the flashback lingers, his young face, hopeful, needing me, and I wasn't there. Did I push him into our father's hands? The snow falls harder, a motif of my regret blanketing the nets, the harbor my hope. I'm alone, isolated by the years I lost with Torin, the milestones I missed, and the family that's slipping away. Vesper leans back his chair, creaking, and lights a cigarette, the smoke curling like fog. Your father's got debts, Eldric, he says, his voice low, a foreshadowing that lands like a stone. Old ones from way back. Heard whispers at the dock, gambling bad bets. My breath catches the shack's walls closing in. Debts. My father. The waves crash outside, a reminder of the storms I faced. But this is different. A tide I didn't see coming. Torin's pressure. Sigrid's debts. Now, this, it's all connected. A net tightening around my condo, my life. What's he hiding? I ask, my voice tight. But Vesper just exhales smoke, his eyes saying he doesn't know. Not yet. I stand pacing the shack's floor, creaking under my boots. The social media post glows on Vesper's phone, Torin's smile a lie, and I'm left with questions. My father's debts. What are they? And how do they tie to Torin, to Sigrid, to my condo? I'm guilty for missing Torin's life, but he's trapped, and I'm wondering if I can still reach him, or if our fathers got him too deep. The snow keeps falling, my regret a heavy anchor, and I'm alone facing a fight I don't fully understand. What's my father hiding, and how do I untangle this net before it pulls me under? Snow dusts the windows of the Gloucester Public Library, a soft veil over the harbor's gray expanse, at 2 p.m. on November 2nd, 2024. Inside, the air's thick with the musty scent of old books and faint coffee from a nearby machine. I, Eldric Vaughn. 60 hunch over a table in a quiet corner, the Greenwave app open on my phone, its tax notice, $4,200, due glowing like a warning. Vesper Klein. My fishing buddy sits across his hands, flipping through a stack of financial records we pulled from public archives. My temples bruised, blood flaking from my father's bottle at the Day of the Dead party, and Sigrid's betrayal, her forged condo documents, her debts, still stings. But Vesper's hint about my father's old debts this morning drives me now. I'm alone, my solitude tempered by a flicker of hope. If I understand this net, maybe I can untangle it. The library's hum pages, turning a librarian's cart creaking, fades as I scan the records, my fingers tracing columns of numbers. Vesper's my mirror, his own loss. His son, Caleb, gone, reflecting my fear of losing Torin, my brother to our father's grip. My phone vibrates, Torin's name flashing. I hesitate. The app's glow dimming and answer my voice low. Torin, what now? He's tense, his words clipped. Dad's saying you're out to ruin us, Eldric. That condo deal's for the family. I grip the phone, anger flaring, but his voice cracks. A pause heavy with subtext. He hesitates, like he's not sure he believes our father. You don't have to do this. I say soft, but he hangs up, leaving silence. His doubts a crack, a chance I misjudged him. I turn back to the records, my heart pounding. A 2010 ledger catches my eye, my father's name linked to a $50,000 gambling debt paid off with funds I wired Torin for his startup. My breath catches the pages trembling in my hands. It wasn't Torin's waste, his failed venture, I blamed him for. It was our father stealing to cover bets, casinos, bad loans. The twist lands hard. I got it wrong. My anger at Torin built on misinformation. The snow outside falls steady, a motif of clarity blanketing the harbor, the lobster traps, my guilt. I've been raging at the wrong man, my brother a victim, not a villain trapped by our father's lies. Vesper, look at this, I say, sliding the ledger over my voice tight. He scans it, his jaw clenching. Bastard, he mutters, subtext heavy. He's seen this before. Men like my father dragging families down. My anger shifts, a tide turning from Torin to our father, but guilt rises sharp and raw. I misjudged Torin, blamed him for years, my absence missing his graduation, his calls pushing him into our father's orbit. I thought he threw it away. I say, my voice low, a raw confession. All that money, my work gone. But it was Dad, not him. Vesper nods, his eyes steady, mirroring the strength I need now, the man who faced storms and didn't break. The library's quiet. The snow's soft tap on the windows, a rhythm to my thoughts. I think of Torin's hesitation on the phone, his trapped voice, and see him clearer, pressured, not greedy, caught in our father's web. Sigrid's debts, her forged documents, must tie to this, too, our father's shadow pulling them both. The Greenwave app pings a reminder of my condo, my anchor, and I know what I have to do. I'm confronting him. I say, my voice hard, a plan forming like a knot tightening. My father, he's got to answer for this. Vesper's eyes flicker a mix of worry and respect. Careful, Eldric, he says. Subtext clear, he knows this could heal us, or destroy what's left. I stand the ledger under my arm, my boots scuffing the linoleum. The snow keeps falling, a veil over the harbor, but there's hope now tempering my solitude. I've been alone, my family slipping away. But Torin's not the enemy, and that changes everything. I misjudged him, like so many fathers misjudge their kids, blaming them for wounds they didn't cause. The knife in my pocket carved for Torin feels lighter, a tether to the brother I might still save. But my father's debts, his theft, his grip on my family, they're the real storm, and I'm heading into it. Will this confrontation heal us, or will it destroy what little we have left? Snow falls gently outside the Gloucester Victorian home, its soft glow muting the harbor at 6 p.m. on November 3, 2024. Inside, the Day of the Dead party's remnants linger. Ofrenda candles burn low, their marigold petals wilting, casting dim flickers across the living room. The air's heavy with wax and whiskey, the mariachi music long gone, replaced by the quiet hum of snow against the windows. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, stand by the mantel, my boots heavy on the hardwood, the ledger of my father's gambling debts tucked under my arm, my temples bruised blood flaking from his bottle attack 2 nights ago, and Sigrid's betrayal, her forged condo documents, her debts still stings. Sigrid lingers near the door, her face pale guilt in her eyes. Torin's at the table, his suit rumpled, and my father looms by the fireplace, his glare sharp. I'm alone, choosing solitude for respect, ready to confront the man who's torn us apart. The mantel's bare of my photo, the family's ofrenda, a reminder I'm erased, but the knife in my pocket carved for Torin grounds me a symbolic tether to the brother I'm fighting for. My condo's tax notice, $4, $200 due, burns in my mind, tied to Sigrid's debts. My father's theft, this house, I'm about to upend. Grief simmers under my anger, a subtext of loss for the family I thought we were, but I'm here to end this. I slam the ledger on the table, the thud echoing, and my father's eyes narrow. "You've got some nerve," he growls, but I cut him off, my voice steady, hard. "Your debts, Dad. 50 grand stolen from Torin's loans, my money to cover your gambling." The words land like a storm, the room stilling, Sigrid's breath catching. Torin's head snaps up, his face tight, and Sigrid steps closer, her hands twisting. "You lied to us," I say, pointing at my father, the ledger open to the damning page. "You took everything I gave Torin, left him to take the blame." My father's jaw clenches, his knuckles white around a glass. "You don't know what you're talking about," he spits, but the subtext is clear. He's cornered, his shame bubbling under defiance. I don't stop. "I'm selling this house," I say, my voice rising to clear my condo's deed to keep what's mine. The declaration hangs a blade cutting through years of lies, and Sigrid gasps, her eyes wide, guilty. Eldric, Sigrid says, her voice breaking, stepping forward. "I'm sorry. I forged those papers for my debts, $20,000 from the shop. Your father said it'd save us." Her confession spills raw, seeking forgiveness, but it hurts another wound from someone I loved. I want to hold her to erase the pain, but her betrayal tied to my father's schemes keeps me back. "You went behind me," I say. My voice low, grief lacing every word. "You and him against me." Her eyes well, but I turn away, the knife in my pocket. Heavy, a reminder of trust broken. Vesper's outside waiting in his truck, his loyalty a mirror to the man. I need to be strong, unbroken, facing the storm. Torin stands his chair, scraping his face pale. I knew, he says, voice barely above a whisper, the admission a gut punch. About Dad's debts, the gambling. He said if I helped with the condo, he'd clear it, keep us together. His words tremble, subtext heavy. He's trapped, loyal to a father who used him. And my heart twists. Hurt by loved ones again, but this time it's different. Torin's not the enemy, just a kid caught in our father's net like I was. I meet his eyes, seeing the boy I raised, the one I missed at his graduation, and guilt mixes with my anger. "You should have told me," I say, my voice soft, but the pain's there, raw and open. My father laughs, a harsh bark breaking the moment. "You're all weak," he says, slamming his glass down, whiskey splashing. "This family's mine, and you'll do what I say." His defiance is hollow, a man clinging to control. But I see his flaws now, greed, lies, tearing us apart. I step closer, the ledger in my hand, my voice steady. "Not anymore," I say, and the room feels smaller, the snow outside falling like a curtain on his reign. Sigrid's silent, her guilt a weight, and Torin's admission hangs between us, a fragile thread. I turn to the door, my boots heavy, the knife a quiet anchor in my pocket. I'm alone, but it's my choice, a solitude born of respect for myself, for the condo I built, for the truth I'm claiming. Vesper's truck idles outside a beacon in the snow, and I know he's with me, a mirror of the strength I'm finding. My father's debts, Sigrid's betrayal, Torin's complicity. They've hurt me, but Torin's confession shifts something. He's not lost, not yet, but can I forgive him? Can I rebuild with a brother who kept this secret, who stood by while our father tore us down? The snow falls, the ofrenda candles dim, and I'm left wondering if forgiveness is possible, or if this confrontation's already broken us beyond repair. The waves lap gently against Gloucester's harbor, a calm murmur outside my condo at 10 p.m. on November 3rd, 2024. Snow settles in soft drifts, dusting the lobster traps visible through my salt-streaked windows. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, sit at my kitchen counter, the air quiet, tinged with the faint scent of a spent ofrenda candle from last night. A 1990s note from my father lies open before me, its faded ink scrawled, "Proud kid. Dad." The words sting a relic of a man I faced hours ago, his gambling debts exposed, his grip on our family broken. My temples' bruised blood flaked from his bottle, and Sigrid's betrayal, her forged condo documents, still aches. But Torin's admission, his complicity in those debts, shifts my anger to guilt. I'm alone, but hope cracks my solitude, a flicker kindled by the chance to mend what I broke with my brother. The condo's dim, lit by a single lamp. The Greenwave app on my phone silent. Its tax notice, $4,200 due, no longer a noose, since I announced the house sale. The knife I carved for Torin rests in my pocket, a symbolic weight lighter now. I'm thinking of Torin, not the man who stood silent as our father raged, but the kid I raised, the one I let slip away. A flashback cuts in 2008. Torin's graduation, his cap tossed high, his grin wide while I'm at sea, nets heavy my phone off. I'll make the next one, I told him, but I didn't, my absence building a rift I didn't see. The memory's raw regret gnawing at me. I wasn't there too busy hauling fish, thinking money was enough. I was wrong, and that mistake fueled our divide, a twist that hits like a squall. I pull out my phone, opening the app, its interface clunky but familiar after days of tax fights. My fingers rough from years on the boats, tap out a letter to Torin, each word a weight lifted. Torin. I write. I messed up. I wasn't there your graduation, your games, your life. I thought work was love, but I left you to Dad, to his lies. I'm sorry. The raw monologue spills my voice silent but loud in my head. I'm not enough. Never was. But I'm trying now. I echo our father's note. Proud kid, not his lies, but the truth. I felt for Torin, the pride I buried under nets and storms. The waves outside hum a steady rhythm, and I see Torin's face at the party, his admission heavy. He knew about the debts, stayed silent to protect our father. He's not lost, not yet. Across town, Sigrid's at her sister's, her purse left behind from last night. I sent her the letter too, a copy via the app, knowing she's reading it now. Her eyes welling as my words hit. I trusted you, Sigrid, but you broke us. I want to fix this if you do. Her guilt confessed at the confrontation lingers in my mind, her debts tying her to my father's schemes. I want to forgive her, but it's hard the hurt too fresh. The flashback returns Sigrid and me, 1995, painting this condo, her laugh bright, my hands steady. I pushed her away too, with my long nights at sea, my silence when she needed words. My absence didn't just break Torin. It broke us all, a self-mistake I'm owning now. The subtext is thick. Regret laced with hope, a chance to rebuild if I can reach them. I'm not good enough, not yet, but this letter's a start, softening the not good enough trigger that's haunted me. I type on the app's cursor, blinking. I'm selling the house, Torin, to save my condo. Not to hurt you, but to stand for me. Come talk, please. The words feel right, like setting a knot that'll hold. I pause, my thumb hovering over send the 1990s note, a reminder of a father's love I lost to his greed. I won't be him. I hit send, the app pinging softly, a sound swallowed by the waves outside, the snow settling like a new beginning. I lean back the stool, creaking, the condo quiet but alive. Sigrid's out there reading my confession, maybe crying, maybe not. Torin's got the letter, his silence a question I can't answer yet. The loneliness, a weight I've carried, cracks with this act, hope seeping through like light on the harbor. I'm alone, but it's different now, a solitude chosen to face my mistakes, to reach for my brother, my wife. The knife in my pocket feels warm, a tether to the kid I might still save if he'll let me. I regret the time lost, like every father who's looked back and seen the milestones missed, the games skipped, the love left unsaid. The snow settles outside, the waves a gentle hum, and I'm waiting in my heart, heavy but open. The letter's gone, my truth out there, echoing the note I hold. I've admitted my fault, the rift I fueled by absence. And now it's on Torin. Will he read it? Feel it, or let it sink like so much harbor debris? Will he respond? Or am I too late to bridge the years I let slip away? Dawn breaks over Gloucester Harbor on November 4th, 2024 at 6 a.m. The sky, a pale gray streaked with pink. Snow dusts the ofrenda by the dock, its marigolds faded, but defiant candles long snuffed out from the Day of the Dead. Lobster boats bob gently, their hulls creaking against the tide. The harbor's waves a soft hum under a settling snowfall. I, Eldric Vaughn, 60, stand on the pier, my boots crunching the fresh powder, the fishing knife I carved for Torin, warm in my pocket. My temples' bruised blood flaked from my father's bottle 4 nights ago, but the weight of his gambling debts, Sigrid's betrayal and Torin's complicity revealed and faced, feels lighter now. I'm not alone, not anymore. The letter I sent Torin last night admitting my absence, my mistakes, lies sent through the Greenwave app, a hope I'm clinging to. This is a beginning, not absolution, and I'm here to try. The air's sharp with salt, and cold, the harbor a mirror of my fishing days when I was strong, needed. Torin's meeting me here? His text a simple, "Okay, I'll come a crack in the wall between us." The ofrenda's snow-dusted frame holds no photo of me like the family's altar at the party, but I'm not erased now. I've sold the family house, my father's legacy, to save my condo, my anchor. Its $4 $200 tax notice no longer a threat. Sigrid's out there, her eyes welling as she read my letter, her guilt a bridge we might rebuild. The knife in my pocket, a symbolic object, is my tether to Torin, the boy I raised, the brother I pushed away by missing his graduation, his life. The not good enough trigger that's haunted me softens here, resolved by this moment, this chance. Footsteps crunch behind me, and I turn to see Torin, his coat dark against the snow, his face tired, older than 35. He stops a few feet away, hands in his pockets, the harbor's waves filling the silence. His social media bravado, those party posts, is gone, replaced by a man carrying our father's debts. His pressure, my absence. I pull the knife out, its handle, worn smooth, and hold it up the blade, catching the dawn's light. "This was yours," I say, my voice low, steady. "I carved it when you left for college, thinking you'd carry me with you." His eyes flicker a flash of the kid I knew, and I step closer. "I wasn't there, Torin. I worked, thought it was enough, but I left you to Dad to his lies. I'm here now." The words hang a silent scene heavy with meaning, the snow falling like a gentle curtain. Torin's gaze drops to the knife, his jaw tightening subtext. Thick. He's hurt too by my absence, our father's grip, the years we lost. "I kept it," he says, voice rough, pulling the same knife from his pocket, a duplicate I didn't know he had. "Never forgot you, Eldric, even when I tried." My chest aches, hope flaring, not absolution, but a start. I hand him my knife, our fingers brushing, and he takes it, his grip firm. We stand the harbor's waves, a steady pulse, the snow a motif of peace, softening the pain. This mirrors the party's bathroom, my bloodied despair. But now I'm free lighter, choosing connection over solitude. Torin nods, a small gesture, his eyes meeting mine. "I'm sorry," he says, voice low for Dad, for the condo. I was stuck. I nod back. No words needed, a father-son understanding, though he's my brother, the kid I raised. It's relatable, this moment, the quiet victory of reaching someone you thought lost a feeling. Every man over 55 knows, looking back at kids they drifted from. We don't hug, don't promise miracles, but the knives, his and mine, are a pact, a step toward rebuilding. Sigrid's letter lingers in my mind, her guilt a question for another day. But here with Torin, I'm not alone. Connection countering the solitude I've carried. I turn to the harbor, the lobster boats bobbing the ofrenda's snow, a clean slate. "We'll figure it out," I say, and Torin nods, pocketing the knife. I walk away, my boots light on the pier, the snow falling soft, the harbor's promise steady. The house is gone, my condo's mine and Torin's here, a beginning forged in truth. I'm lighter, the not good enough weight lifted hope carrying me forward. The Greenwave app's silent, the tax fight won, and I'm thinking of every man who's felt erased by family, wondering if they found this too a moment. A knife, a brother. The Gloucester harbor stretches before me, its waves whispering peace, as the snow settles a quiet promise at dawn. Handing Torin that knife, feeling his nod, was like casting a line. After years of tangled nets, a small step, but one that holds. My condo's safe now, my anchor, but it's the hope of rebuilding with Torin, maybe even Sigrid, that lightens my steps. Life's taught me this family can break you, but love, stubborn as a main tide, finds a way back if you let it. I was wrong too, missing Torin's milestones, letting work drown my heart, and that regret's a lesson I carry. Forgiveness isn't a grand gesture. It's showing up, saying I'm here even when it hurts. For every man who's felt erased, know this: your worth isn't in what you've lost, but in the connections you dare to mend. In Gloucester, we build ofrendas to honor the past, but it's the living we must hold close. If this story stirs something in you, share a memory of family of second chances in the comments below. Your voice matters. Join us, like, subscribe, and let's keep these stories alive.